Okay, there we go. Maybe I should turn the camera around. It gets a little bigger when you have turned it around. So, running on the computer and all that. So, I just got the package from the post mail, and I got Eddie Claire 5,000 units. It says EE. It's German. They apparently don't have it in other languages than German. The other Nystatin that I got was on different, that's a fluid form. And this is a pill form, apparently. Now, I haven't tried it yet. I'm trying to see if I can get diflucan as well. And I still have some natural sources that I, would like to try out to see. It would be nice if, but I'm just tired of it in some sense, to see if this might work. It would be very interesting, if the diflucan would actually, just kill off a lot of this, in regards to the beast, and I should be able to see it pretty quickly, But of course, there's 7% chance that it is resistance, and of course, in regards of me being correct in regards of the diagnose. But anyway. So if I don't try, anyway, that's still again. I need to see if I can get the diflucan at some, So apparently my doctor, pretty much said that if I didn't accept his diagnose of me sending me to one of these shrinks, that just wants to spoon fed me. Fill me up with psychotropic drugs, well, then I should find another doctor, another white coat doctor. But he gave in to give me one, bottle of Nystatin, I guess I'm pressured him, I was kind of pretty, I was somewhat of persistence. And he gave in, but he said, okay, let's, trying it and all that. But the thing is, apparently, I don't think he had read the 2 pages from Doc Kaufman, which I had, sent him and all that. But because the thing is, the diflucan, and so he gave me, this he gave me, one bottle at a minimum doses, actually for children instead of grown-ups. If you read the manual of Nystatin, they talk about 5 milliliters 3 times a day. Now he went for 1 milliliter 4 times a day. So that's pretty much for children, as I understand it. So, yeah, I don't know. But, I couldn't get him to give me any diflucan. So then I talked to another, and he apparently agreed. Those 2 doctors at that place, and apparently the other doctor agreed with. Not a surprise. That in regards of sending me to a pill feeder. Instead of actually trying something that actually might work. Yeah, let's just send the person to on psycho, to get fed in regards of psychotropic drugs. What is this insane? It is a madhouse. It's utter madhouse. Anyway, I tried to talk to another doctor, and he told me that he didn't think I could find anyone in Denmark that wanted to. Prescribe me this. You see, Nystatin is also a prescription, so you actually need one of these white coat doctors to actually prescribe it. But in Germany, you can actually get it without prescription. Now, sadly, you cannot get diflucan and Spornox, but you can get Nystatin. So, I've just gotten this from Germany. A package from Germany. Now, of course, it is interesting. This is from one of the places. Apparently, you can only buy this at these places. These. It is and they have this simple that they are, the only place that you can get this is in these places, these medical. I don't know what they're called in English, but where they sell, where you can get these drugs and all that. So what I have gotten here, the thing is, I would have been more assured if I could actually get it from Danish sources, so I could, get it from down there, so I would be sure what I actually have in my hand is okay and all that, instead of ordering it from the internet from Germany. So, of course, one could go down there as well and get the things, take a trip to Germany. Yeah, this is the package. It's was 400 kroners plus the what do you call it? 400 kroners plus the sending, so nearly 500 kroners. And you can actually, if you pay, I can't remember. That's like was like 600 kroners or something like that, and you get 500. Yeah, I can't remember that, but that was something in regards of getting free, posters and all that. But at first, I wanted to see if they would actually get through. If I actually would get it, and lo and behold, here they are from Germany, and it's called Adiclar Filmtabletten. And 500,000 units of Nystatin. It's like Wirkstoff Nystatin again. Antimycoticum 100 Filmtabletten. Yeah. What are you going to do if your white coat murderer don't want to ascribe you, antifungals? Yeah, but have some vaccines and all that. Again, I'm still kind of, reluctant to. I'm still kind of thinking about these things. How to actually, will there be anything, or will, yeah. I'm still kind of a little concerned about these things, and I'm still researching and, reading up a bit on it and trying to get as much information so I can make an informed decision. As Doc Kaufman also, that guy is just wonderful in regards of information of on fungus, and I really, I usually have problems with Roman papers, and of course, I still have issues with some of the things that he is, hopefully he will find out that the cookie Jesus is not the real version of Jesus. But in regards of fungus and all that, and his information is just absolutely awesome. Trying to help people at least, But I'm still aware that he is a Roman papist, and usually I actually call them Roman poopist. I know that might not be so sweet. But I'm just tired of the lies and the deceptions and all that these papists have a way of promoting, and all that pagan holidays, or whatever you want to call it, So, but anyway, there was different versions of this Nystatin, and it's pretty much the same price, many of them, and I think it's probably the same thing, much of it, So anyway, let's open it up, and I have the manual over here, by the way. This is the manual. What is interesting with this manual is that usually the manual come in Denmark, at least, we have, different languages, it's like waste of paper and all that. But this is only in German. Now, that's not a big problem. I will, I can, I don't know German, but, there's help tools to actually translate or whatever. And that's probably not anything, but I should read it through as usual, and I'll do that. Let's see here. Oder vaginale Infection sind 1-2 Filmtabletten. That would be 500,000 to 1 million units. 3 mal täglich einsunemin or something like that. So as I understand it, 1 to 2 tablets 3 times a day. I think that's what it says. I'm not sure, entirely sure. So of course I had to check this, but now that would okay. That's a pretty high dose, I would say, compared to. But I guess vaginaler, that would be in regards of, and that's interesting as well, if nystatin can actually help on your vagina issue, and we know that the nystatin primarily works in your mouth, in your stomach, and in your gut, and then going out the butthole, not really being, taken up by the body, or very, very, very little of it being taken up by the body. Well, then, how could it then work in the vagina? Well, maybe because the issue is actually in the gut, in regards to the fungus, and when the fungus then dies off, then it will be very interesting to try. But I'm somewhat, like antibiotics, which is, fungus poison. I must say I would like more information on it. I haven't really heard negative things in regards of doing nystatin. I have heard positive things. I have not heard any negative things. I've heard that there are negative things, but I haven't really heard any stories about, and whatever, I don't know. So I haven't really heard any negative stories in regards of nystatin. I would like to see if I could find someone. So if anyone out there are looking at it and tried nystatin, and you have something, just put it out there, But as far as I go, I haven't really. But again, I should do some more search on that. But again, it's. It will be interesting to read the German thing here. We also have a Danish website where all the manuals is on the pages, so you can actually read the manuals. And that's, of course, going directly to the source material and finding out what they say. And that's, then then you're not, it's not like secondhand, it's directly from their sources. I don't know if it probably is in German as well, I guess, somewhere. I don't know. Maybe also in regards to the English, because then you can learn, by reading different, and if you read something twice or 3 times or 4 times, it just gets more stuck in your head, so that might not be a bad thing. It's just interesting that, that apparently it's not so easy to find anyone in Denmark. I found some documents and all that I need to print out that seems to talk about, that was 2 doctors that seems to actually use diflucan and nystatin that actually know something about it. So, and there was names on that, so maybe I can find those kinds of doctors and ask them, if they would be willing to prescribe me some diflucan. So, yeah. I don't know if we can't get nystatin in tablet form. This is tablet, by the way. Let's open it up. This is tablet form, and I don't know if we don't have tablet form. It seems like I talked to the pharmacy. That's what it's called. Oh yeah. So apparently, as I understand it, this can only be sold in German pharmacies. It's not allowed to be sold any other places, as I understand it. But it's not prescription, So it's I don't know what it's called. So this is how it looks. So that's like 10 tablets of nystatin. So it will be interesting to read the folder thing, because if they're actually talking about vagina issues in regards of nystatin, that will be very interesting, because again, if this primarily work in the gut, and this is anti-fungus. It's not, I don't know why they call it, sometimes they call it an antibiotic. I think that seems to be an error. This is anti-fungus. This is not antibacteria. And actually, in regards of anything, instead of antibiotic, it's pretty much antibacteria. And the problem with that is it ruins the good bacteria as well. So when you take an antibiotic, antibacteria, you kill off bacteria in your gut, which might be very important. And if you ruin the gut, well, then you might get other issues. And of course, the medical mafia can earn a lot of money on that, and treating symptoms is actually instead of treating the cause. And they might actually have made the causes. And then they just continue to, it's just utter criminal. It's just utter criminal. It's very sad. It's very sad that this is happening in this world. But anyway, this is Addie Claire. It looks pretty good. But this is how it looks, and I wonder if it works. So at least now I know I have a source to get Nystatin, because again, what I'm afraid of is like the doctor that that gave me a little Nystatin. If I only take a minimum dose, I'm afraid that the fungus might become resistant, And there are some sources that says that Nystatin, in regards to resistance, in regards to the fungi and all that in the gut, that it won't become resistance. But then again, I've seen another source that might actually seem to. So again, I need to research more on that. But I want to hit it hard. I want to hit it. Some say this is really hard stuff. Nystatin works. I heard from a naturopath that he wouldn't advise this, and maybe I should try his way first. I don't know. He has some natural. He says that he has something called Candida, and he says it's the best Candida product that is on the market, and he says it's working slower and all that. But I don't know. It's it's a lot of. Yeah, it's I'll try different things before. Anyway, whatever. It would be a try worth as well, of course. Would be nice. Just something that can kill this bugger, get this bugger in the knees. But in any case, in regards of the protocol of Dr. Kaufman, in regards of Nystatin and diflucan, I don't want to give it any chance for surviving this. I don't want to, just take a minimum dose and then risk that it becomes resistance to it. That would be utter foolish, If I have one chance of knocking this out in regards to the Nystatin and diflucan, I need to have it, it has to be done rightly. It's not like, it's just, if it won't. It's just I want it to be, so the chances are the greatest for it actually working. So, if I'm going to try it, let's do it so the chances of working is up here. Don't give me like chances that is down here. So that's just stupid. So what I'm afraid of as well in regards to the Nystatin, if I take the Nystatin and it only, if it doesn't really take the systemic thing of it, then, it's just... So, again, I would like to have access to diflucan. Again, I don't know. Maybe I should try this Candida thing before. That was kind of, again, expensive. That was like 4,000 kroners and plus shipment. And probably, if it's going to get into Denmark, I'll probably need to pay those, what's it called? Toll guys or whatever, It's incredible how much it can cost to get something into the country. So, I think it was like 4,000 kroners for a natural thing, but he says it, he says it's something of the best on that's the problem, You try many things, and of course, in regards of staying on the meat diet and low on sugar and all that will absolutely help, in not feeding the fungus, so that the chances will, be better in regards of, who knows? It might work, I don't know. Well, at least, okay, so I have the Nystatin now, and then I just need to get the diflucan. Now, how much diflucan would I need? Well, as far as I can see, usually it seems like the diflucan's numbers are like, they usually start pretty high, with the high doses. And I don't know why they do that, but it seems like they begin with the high doses to, I guess, to prop it up in the body. And then they run a dose that, it's like the diflucan has a way of a half-life of something. I can't remember how it is, but, it will be in the body for so and so long and all that. So I guess they just give give a high dose to get it going, and then they feed this, so they keep it up, so the diflucan works against these, this fungus. So yeah, I don't know. I still more research on this, but after the explosion, that I had after I went to the bakery, and just from the breast, and it just went, down in my balls and down in my legs and up in my head and out in my arms, and there we go, having the itch, and a little here and a little. It's not so. The itch is not so. Well, in the beginning, it was pretty. And I was like, I was at the point of thinking, maybe a rope around the neck wouldn't be so bad. That was the thought. I would never do it, but that was the thought. I would never do it, but I was thinking, this is just horrible. How am I going to live with this now as well? So anyway, and by the way, these are cloves, and they're actually pretty tasty. And you can just sit and chew them. Usually, I just yeah. I was a little afraid that if you could actually eat too many of these, because you read these scary stories about the natural things and all that. And I do wonder how many bullshit stories is actually out there, because I haven't had any problem with it. And I've pretty much taken pretty good doses of these, and just sitting, and it's like candy, I found out that if I just take you just take a thing in the hand, and you lay them on the table, and you can just sit there and just chew them, and they're antifungal. Well, that's pretty nice, antifungal. And they also have a lot of, as I understand, they're very high on. You want the flour? They're really high on antioxidants, as I understand it, as well. So they're antifungal, and they are high in oxidants, as I understand it. And what I'm thinking, in regards, I've made tea also on these different things, and they're just putting the things in it and just swallowing these things, these, so I don't fix it away. I just eat them with, if I make tea or something. Yeah, so I'm thinking maybe it's just better that it actually goes through all the system and all that, instead of throwing it out after you. Yeah, so anyway, what do I know, But anyway, trying different things. You can feel them, numbing your mouth and all that, and yeah. But I've read scary stories about if you eat too many and so forth. But anyway, I haven't had any problems, and I tried this tea as well, which is powder. They call it something in English, the powder agar or something like powder agar or something like that in English, I think. And I bought a kilo of that tea, and I just made huge, very powerful tea of that, because I wanted to give it a knock, I really wanted to give it a knock, again. So I bought a kilo of that. It was pretty expensive, but no. But I didn't really have any negative, yeah, it's even when drinking 4 liters of it, and this, I put 20 teaspoons in 4 liters of water, and just made that and drank it the same day. And I did that for a couple of days, and I've, just sitting there and drinking it and all that. it didn't really give me any bad, so there doesn't seem to be a problem with that either. I do wonder how much scaring things is actually put on the internet, by some of these companies and, you know, yeah, whatever. So, but pretty nice. I can actually go to Germany and get Nystatin. I wonder, in regards to Sweden and Norway, in regards to Nystatin, how they're. As I understand it, I cannot get diflucan in Sweden. I've heard that's apparently I could some years ago, but I cannot now. Apparently they made it illegal or prescription, prescription wise. I do wonder about Norway. Maybe one can get it in Norway. Maybe I need to go further away. I don't know. There must be, some nations that have it. And I do wonder. I haven't had a little difficulty actually finding out. In regards to people seems to not. Yeah, but of course it's just calling. This and that. Yeah. Have we go again. Vaginal HIV infection. Again, that sounds like the vagina, doesn't it? Oh yeah, we can use the mobile, right? Let's. I'll just close down this. Let's see what the mobile says. I think Google can do that. Let's see here. Offline translation. We need a camera thing here. I haven't really used it that much, but let's try. Let's see if Google can. It doesn't look good. Let's see here. Well, maybe I should flatten the paper a little more out. Let's try again. Can it actually... How long do I need to sit here? Pause translation. Maybe it's... I don't know. I don't know how it... It seems to have the little issues because the paper itself has... here we have the glows, by the way. Pause translation. Well, let's see here. Let's see if it wants to take it. No. Here we go with the down there. There we go. Let's see here. Oral or vagina yeast infection. Gastrointestinal yeast reservoir. Let's zoom a little out here. See if maybe I can turn it around here. Maybe this will be better. Okay, and it's not that so good. It's for occupation or reduction of the... Oh, well, apparently we had a good one, but apparently it's just... It seems the translation... Oh, let's see. Pause. Okay, let's see. For elimination or reduction of the gastrointestinal yeast reservoir as... And then apparently didn't, translate it. As something suppression, a local therapy of existing oral or vaginal yeast infections. What do you need to know before taking Adiclair? Adiclair should not be taken if it is hypersensitive, allergic to the active substance, Nystatin, or any of the other ingredients of Adiclair. Well, okay, so we got some of it translated anyway. Aim at text. Yeah, well, it should be... I don't know, maybe it's also because it's using CPU power in regards of recording and all that. It would be, pretty smart if it worked if it worked better. Dear patients, why is like 2 times? Liebe Patienten, lieber Patient, Bitte lesen Sie die gesamte Gebrauchsinformation sorgfältig durch, denn sie Inhalt wichtige Informationen für Sie. So there's something in regards of informationen. Yeah. I guess could you do it like this? Could it actually take? Yep. No. Yeah, this medicine is also available without scratches or without a prescription. Oh yeah. So now actually they say it. Oh, nice. They say, so that's you can get it without prescription. Come on. One again. This medicine is also available. Can we pause it? Pause. This medicine is also available without a prescription. Yay! Go Germany! So you can get out, get around this these white coat doormen, I don't want you to have anything against antifungals. No, you need to get some psychotropic drugs, that can screw you up even more, And oh yeah, we could actually look at that as well. Where is it? But again, I do, I do think, could there be anything that it actually could damage by taking Nystatin? That's, I must say, I do have, because antibiotic, in regards of destroying of bacteria, we know that absolutely can make a havoc in your gut. So what if you actually put an antifungal in your gut? Could it actually take out things that you might need down there in regards of fungals, or would it actually just help the bacteria to get the gut in balance again? Would it just support your to take over again? In regards of fixing the balance, instead of, I don't know. Let's try again here. Let's see what they advise here on this one. There we go. Pause. To reduce or eliminate the occurrence of yeast in the gastrointestinal tract as a starting local therapy of existing oral or vaginal. Sorry, that didn't translate that. Our vaginal. Let's try that again. Let's see if we can get it to actually. Where is it? There we go. It's really hard to actually. There we go. Let's see. To reduce or eliminate the, and then it doesn't took these. I don't understand why it actually doesn't, remember what it actually. But anyway, a local therapy of existing oral or vaginal yeast infections is 2 film tablets. I guess let's see 1 to 2. It actually says 1 to 2 film tablet, and so I'm not sure why it's writes T2, but 1 to 2. Oh, it thinks it's a T, I guess. So 1 to 2 film tabletten, film tablets, tablets, 500 to 1,000 to 1 million, units of Nystatin 3 times a day. So they actually are going up to a dose that is, but again, it's very interesting if it's against vaginal yeast infections. And I also heard that the Nystatin can actually work with other issues that is, that can affect other issues that you have, for example, on skin and so forward. But if we know that Nystatin only work in the gut, how is it that it actually can fix issues that is outside the gut? Isn't that interesting? So, yeah, I think that's very interesting. So, yeah, I have a lot of, I actually also have a telephone They have an email as well, office@rdfarm.de. Diese Gebrauchsinformation wurde zuletzt überarbeitet im July 2015. I don't know how you say that in German. But, I'm getting better at, reading German for sure, but that's still a long, long way. But I found some pretty nice German songs, Christian songs. I really, and that's in regards to Martin Luther as well. But there's a wonderful singer on YouTube, and she sings, and they're free. That's that's nice, I don't understand, Christian when not making. I don't know. Anyway, maybe it's just me. German songs, Christian songs, Christian. I'm not sure. And she has a wonderful voice, and she's singing some of these old. I guess it's a little hard to find actually. But I know it comes up. She sings some of the old, Lutherans. Oh yeah, she has this. What is it called? The most known Lutheran song that even the Roman papists are singing. Funny enough, because it's actually about them in some sense, but I guess it's more hidden in the. But hey, if they want to sing that, well, okay, yeah, that's okay. That's interesting. That's for sure. I remember some Catholics, talking about, is this actually anti-Catholic, singing this and all that, and it's very interesting to read. And yeah, I would think it's anti-Catholic, but it's not totally clear. It's not coming totally out to say it, but if you know your Bible and all that, you do understand what Luther is hitting at, so. What was it? What is it called? Da 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 da. No, that's the other song. Da da da. Actually, no, I have it. Maybe I have it over here. Actually, I think I actually have it over here. Let's see if I can find the name of that. That's hard. That's also I know I can't remember what it's actually called, but it's also said to be antifungal, and usually I just eat that. Raw. Can't remember what it's called. I have some more of it actually. So this is also a German program, by the way. Here we go. Not sure what it's called, but in English. But it's said to be antifungal as well, and I pretty much eat this raw. It is kind of hard and all that, but it's I think it's also in regards to the blood thinning. I think I heard someone says it was like a blood thinner and all that. It's interesting that in regards of blood thinning, that people are like, oh, if you're on blood thinning, you're not allowed to eat this and that and so forward because it's a blood thinning thing. And I'm like, why not just then use natural things instead of using blood thinner, the natural blood thinners instead, and actually have other positive things. But no, we need the drugs and go around all the other blood thinners that is out there. If you can just eat some garlic or something like that. Is this the one? Yeah, I think this is one. This is the woman. The next one is also pretty good. Da 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 da. Ein fester Berg ist unser Gott. I don't understand some of these videos that is on the internet when they have lyrics on and all that, and the lyrics are coming. The lyrics should come a little before you begin to sing it, because you need to have time to actually see what you need to sing, right? But anyway, that's the song I was one of them. Frei aus aller Not. Ist jetzt meint. Do. Da 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 da. Anyway, she's she's have a nice voice and some pretty good German songs, and this is another one from her. I think this is Christi Blut und wonderful. And also there's Bach. Bach has also a lot of, that's Israel. It's actually translate Israel on the cap. Anyway, okay. But also there's actually some other German, like, that's from Bach, I think, or Bach or whatever. That's wonderful as well. Let's see here. I'm getting totally off topic here. That's like Dear Jehovah. That's also pretty good. It's winging da 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 da. Gib mir deines Eifers Kraft dazu. I wish I knew the lyrics in some sense. It would be nice to sing along with some of these German songs, and that one of the things that actually opened me up to a lot of songs, to a lot of Christian songs, was this children's song of Martin Luther. When I was down on the beach and talking to these different Lutherans, actually asking them questions if they knew who the Antichrist was, I found one. That I did, he didn't answer me and all that. And then I was beginning to, I had to push just a little. And then he began, it was this older guy, seemed kind of a little strange old guy. And he had grown up in a family, a Christian family of Christians that sing a lot. I can't remember what they're called, but I had one of their books. Have I actually returned that? No, I haven't returned that. And actually, I should get over to return the books. It's, what are they called? The Army of the Salvation or something like that. And he had apparently grown up with that. And it's like one of the books from them. And I was looking into something and trying to figure out if they had some of the old Martin Luther songs and all that. But he began to sing this song, and he said that they actually had censored one of the songs in regards to the children's song of Martin Luther. And they have. And that was, of course, very interesting. And that led me into finding Bach. German Bach, and then another guy as well that was named Buxter or something like that. And I searched on Martin Luther songs, and I found both Buxter and Bach had used these things in their music. Now, their music is very much complicated in regards of, the notes and all that. It's not on a children level. It's kind of really, But anyway, and some of the versions was again censored and all that, very, very sad. But, it opened up for a lot of music, a lot of Christian, wonderful music. And, I guess it might actually just be worth knowing German just to listen to Bach, to some of the music of Bach. It's like, it has a way of, rolling in some sense. It's like, it's wonderful. Really love that, I love music being about, the Bible, all this, having some good lyrics and some, not being rough. I don't like when you can't hear what is being sung. And sadly, I guess some of Bach and other, it can be a little hard to actually hear what they're singing. When they're singing over each other, and all the. But actually, no. Actually, Bach was a lot better than the other guy from England in regards of making Messiah, which I also heard. But I found a version that was the most easy to listen to and all that, and I have that on my mobile. But Bach was a lot, lot more in my style, that you were more able to actually hear the lyrics. So, but if I remember correctly, there are somewhere, they're, speaking or singing over each other, if I remember correctly. But still, it was a lot easier to actually listen to the lyrics than the Messiah. You have so much instruments. You have the rooms that makes it hard to hear what they're singing. And what's the point of listening to music if you can't understand what is being sung? That's not, in regards of, yeah, if it's in a foreign language, you want it to be clear so you can hear it, as best as possible. Anyway, got it getting totally off topic. But anyway, I'm still researching the Nystatin, and I'm going to read this at some point. But again, very interesting that you seem to actually have things that is outside the God that is affected by using Nystatin. So you have some issues, you use Nystatin, and apparently it can help some of the things. That is very interesting. So, yeah. But again, still somewhat concerned in regards of what it might do with. But if you could give raw milk at the same time, have raw milk to repopulate the gut. And actually, if you had a cow or a goat or a lamb, or maybe some human milk, I don't know. But that seems a little over the top. But I don't know, if you have a wife, I don't know if you could maybe milk her, Hey, honey, could you just milk me a glass of milk, Yeah, that would be the most natural things, in regards of, if we can drink cow milk, then I don't know. But the woman, as I understand, there's bacteria with the milk, so I don't know if there's differences in regards of bacteria, in regards to the different animals, and of course man as well. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what it tastes. The idea somewhat disgusts me, but it's kind of, it would be proper. It would be more normal, wouldn't it, in some sense? If from a woman than actually from an animal. The milk, the food source would be more natural, wouldn't it? So yeah. Honey, could you just fix me a liter of milk? At least it would probably be a lot healthier than the bullshit they have in the store. It would have bacteria, it would still be, active because it's still hot coming out the breast and all that. Yeah. I don't know. And it would have the, yeah. So anyway. Yeah. Kind of a weird idea. I don't know what maybe it's not that bad, I don't know. Again, it's much more natural than this pasteurized bullshit you can buy at the store, And again, if it's your wife, I don't know. How long does a woman actually give milk? Is it the same as a cow? As I understand it, they have a way of if they, isn't that like if they don't milk them, they stop giving milk or something like that. So you need to milk them. I think there was something in regards to that. So I don't know how that, but I don't know in regards to women if they actually stops giving milk. or if they just stop, out of nowhere. Or maybe they just need to keep the production up, and then we'll continue. I don't know. Of course, you would need to have your wife on a good diet, right? And full of nutrition, so the quality of the milk, of course, is high. But of course, you would like that as well in regards of your children getting all the nutrients that they need and the bacteria for the gut and all that. But when we are running around and destroying our gut afterwards, like nuking it with antibiotics, I don't know. Maybe that's the way to replenish our gut then, to go back to restoring things. Wasn't there something in regards of I think there's something in regards to the immune system as well being given from so you get immune systems help by drinking milk. It seems to be a very very nutritious thing. Before we actually destroy it and before we actually destroy the cows, and the quality might be worse because we're doing all these things to the cows and all that, and then we nuke the milk and so forward, by giving it a Hitler treatment. And yeah, it's just insanity. I was drinking a lot of milk in my youth, and I wonder if it's actually the body, the body thinks that milk is, good. I wonder if it's like a thing that the body knows that milk is good and that it needs milk, and therefore you want milk, but the thing that you give it is actually not the real milk. You actually give it destroyed milk. So while the body hungers for milk, and you're giving it, in some, fake food in some sense, you're not giving it what it wants. So I guess it will continue to go on and hunger after this milk, and yet you continue to give it crap because you don't know any better. You don't know that they are pretty much ruined the milk, on so many levels. And then they actually you go so far to totally, make milk like a diabolical thing, and it's like, oh, the worst of the worst, and oh, be careful of raw milk, and bullshit and bullshit and more bullshit, because people have been drinking milk for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, and now out of nowhere, oh, it's so dangerous, You have to be kidding me. It's just these bullshitters. What are we doing? It's like the whole world is just turned upside down, Destroying our health, getting bad food, so, we have one cheese in Denmark that is not made from Hitler milk. One cheese. One single cheese. And you can order it on the internet and all that to get one single cheese, because it's illegal, to make cheese, you have to have huge amount of different things apparently to be accepted by the Food Administration to actually be allowed. But it's okay to apparently make this kind of milk outside of the land of Denmark and then import it into the country. You see, apparently outside the borders of Denmark, natural milk is apparently not a problem. It's apparently not, this evil thing that you should really, you can actually make raw milk or treat cheeses of raw milk. Isn't it incredible? And then you just import those, into Denmark. But in Denmark, if you do it in Denmark, it's just evil. It's just, what's it called? I'm missing the words here, but it's just so stupid. It's like, okay, so they can make it outside of the land of Denmark, but in Denmark we can't do it. Oh, we can't do it. It's just this product of milk is just too dangerous to do it. Apparently, it's like evil. It's like they really demonized milk. It's probably one of our healthiest, if not healthiest, food choices that we have. Providing us vitamins, enzymes, help for our immune system, a lot of things, a lot of good things. Oh yeah, bacteria as well, yeah. Yeah. But no. We need to nuke it. And of course, in regards of the milk's quality, if there's a problem with the milk, maybe you're not treating the cows good enough. I guess one can say it again and again and over again. What a bullshit society we live in. What kind of bullshitters and evil men are destroying what God has made on so many levels, and people don't care, don't know, or don't, just incredible. Anyway, let's see here. Oh, I actually gotten something from Nova Nordic. That's interesting. So I was first asking them, and I'll. Do you have any animals that you do test on in regards with diabetes that you test your products by? And they say yes, we do. They talk about the medicals, something is something that they have to do according to some. What I'm getting, my next question will be, how do you make diabetes in mouse or in animals, in test animals? I first gave them just a small question, and then we'll do with the next question. I want to know, how do you actually make diabetes in your test animals? If you need to test your products in regards of diabetes, right? How do you actually make diabetes in the test animals? I would like to know that. Do you inject them with mycotoxins or whatever? I would like to know what. And mycotoxins is fungus by poison and all that. Fungus poison. But of course, if they can make diabetes in mouse or rabbits or whatever animals and all that, the question, or rats, mouse, rats, rabbits, whatever. If they can make diabetes in animals, how do they do that? And if they do it by using fungal poison. Fungus poison, in regards of antibiotic. That was what it was. Fungus poison. Fungus poison, Then what may the reason maybe be in regards of people getting diabetes, So, anyway, I found a guy on the Candida forum that actually works for them, and I asked him, do you know in regards of how they... And he said, well, there's you can ask them and so forth. But of course, if it's actually the most, if it's the biggest golden cow in Denmark, of course, they might have a lot of people working for them. And as I understand it, they have a team, ready to answer. And actually, this is Sunday, so that's interesting that they actually would... No, it's Friday, actually. How did I get that wrong? There's so many things to remember and all that. So how did I get that wrong? How could I think it was Sunday? Oh my. It's the preparation day today. It's closing for the Sabbath. Actually, that's like a half an hour for the Sabbath. Anyway, what do they say anymore? I guess the person actually answering me, this is in Danish, so it's a little hard with all these big words to translate it into English on the fly and all that. But it's I guess the person seems to think that I was probably concerned in regards of the animals. Now, of course, I don't think it's being very loving to animals actually doing these tests, because I think it's actually unnecessary, because if we know the cause of the things, we should just, fix it. And I think these companies actually know the cause for a lot of things, but there's no money in the cause. There's no money in curing cancer, which again is probably just a fungal issue. There's big business in promoting cancer, and and just look at how much money people will pour into this wicked system, because it's interesting that people don't see it, that the cure is just around the corner since nearly forever, The cure is just around the corner. We just need a little more money. Just a little more money. Just give us more money. It's just around the corner, and we want to save people and all that bullshit. It's bullshit. They're bullshit, but that product is cancer. That's that product. That just, it's deceptive. It's utter bullshit. We could use our energy on other things than this bullshit. People just need to be honest and come out and so. But anyway, it seems like he thinks that that my issue would be in regards of animals. But of course, doing these wicked things to animals is kind of disgusting as well, and I don't think that's doing good to the animals. And again, I think it's unnecessary if we actually just went to the cause. But the problem is there's no money in that, and I don't think it can be defended. Just because it's an industry and what was it called in regards of being this way of earning money, and I don't think it can be defended. To be dishonest and deceive people to sell products and all that and just treat them, it's criminal. I think it's criminal. I don't think it's okay. I just think that I don't I don't think it can be defended. If you are hiding away things because you want to make a business out of things, I don't think it's okay. If that's I don't know the words for it, but that's just not okay in my book. That's absolutely not okay. If you know what diabetes is and what causes diabetes, and you're withholding that information because you are earning a lot of money on actually, that's just bullshit. That's absolutely criminal. Yeah. Oh, we will lose our jobs but find an honest job. This dishonest bullshit is just dishonest. Milking the people of their resources and making them sick. So he seems like I might be concerned in regards of the animal. Of course, again, it is, but that's not my primary thing. Because if we actually just went to the cause, we wouldn't need to use all these animals. So that's a little hot. So the next question will of course be somewhat of how do you make how do you make the diabetes in test animals? That's the next question. Let's see if they will respond to that. I will be interesting. But very nice that they responded. But again, I wonder if they will answer me on that. And what kind of animals do you use, and how do you actually make diabetes in these animals? Because if they don't have anything to hide, right? They would be able to respond back to me. How do you actually make animal having diabetes? What do you do to these animals to actually make diabetes in them, right? And now I guess there might be different methods of doing it, but if one of the methods is putting mycotoxins into the animals, well, then begs the question, well, if you inject a mycotoxin into the animal and it gets diabetes, destroys the beta cells and all that, what might cause diabetes? Well, maybe the cause is fungi related. Yeah. So anyway, I think that seems, all these sicknesses that we are like, oh, the big mystery of, and it's incredible. And we're just getting more and more sick. And sadly, these people are getting, even if they actually are making the issues, they are seen as the heroes. It's like, oh, we did this and that and all that. We have saved a lot of people and blah, 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 by doing this and that, while they could actually have fixed the issue a lot better in regards of that, withholding the, I don't know, it's just, I think it's just disgusting. It's I remember Doc Kaufman talked in regards of the heart, I think, in regards of if you're drinking alcohol and all that, and also can have an effect on your heart. But there's so many degradations of, in regards of, drinking when we drink alcohol, and on so many levels that where we totally, again, look at an alcoholic, and the Danish culture of drinking beer, and probably other places as well, is just not healthy. Just look at it. You don't need to try it yourself. Like, I used alcohol to get away from my problems. Really stupid, really, really stupid. And I figured out this is not the way to go. And when I understood that alcohol was not good in regards of my issues, that actually, I stopped drinking pretty much. It's a long time since I'm drinking any alcohol. Last time I drank alcohol might have been when I was in Israel, maybe just a small glass of red wine. I can't remember. I guess it's so long, so I can't remember. That might be my last time when I drank alcohol. So that would be 2 years ago or something like that. Wait. Let's see. That might be something else, but I don't think so. I can't. That might. I don't remember. Any case. But anyway. Stopping to drink alcohol that you understand. You realize this is not good. And the same thing with smoking as well. That's not. Well, at least apparently, if you actually get the tobacco before they actually treat it, it's actually a lot better than before the treatment. And so if you're going to smoke, it would be better. So I think that was one of the smokes tobacco things which actually is not without any treatment and without any things added. But I can't remember what I think those that smokes hash and all that, hashish, they use that kind of tobacco. But again, I can't remember the name of it, but I think that's one of, so if one was smoking, that would probably be the way to go. I'll probably call them up and try to verify that how they were actually making this, if it was actually natural, and not treated by different things and all that. But as I understand it, the treatment they use is, as Doc Kaufman talks about, it's actually makes mycotoxins in the tobacco. So when you smoke it, you get mycotoxins into your lungs. And then you might get cancer. And of course, they put all these different, I can remember in the past when, they put a huge amount of different things in the tobacco as well. That is not natural, but it makes it easier to, get in and blah, 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 and whatever. But apparently make it a lot less of a risk of, of things. Anyway. So, yeah, it's interesting. Interesting that they would answer me, so then I, of course, will ask in regards of the other things and see if I get answer. I'll do that afterwards. That will be very, very interesting if they want to respond to that. Okay, that's it's interesting. It's interesting that people, and this is in regards to the Bible and all that. People come to a forum that is that is named New to Torah in regards of learning Torah, the law of Jehovah and so forward. being instructed by it and learning more of it and so forward. And people just come in and and just why would you go into a forum if you're not this is a forum for people interested in learning in regards to the Bible and the Torah, the first the 5 books of Moses. Yet people will come in and spew their things. I do wonder, why would you join a forum if you're not interested in Torah related things anyway? And just in there to I don't understand. But of course you can see a lot of places where, like on Hebrew places, to a lot of people come into that's this Hebrew what it called Hebrew place where people are collected to gather around learning Hebrew, and a lot of people come into this these and post other bullshit in there. Like why are people so why do people like doing that? I don't know. Maybe again, since Satan is sending his people to do it's just if you're not here to learn Hebrew, what are you doing here? Anyway, it's just yeah. So that's pretty much the same thing. If you're going into a Torah forum, new to Torah, where people are actually there to learn about Torah, and you don't want, I don't understand people. It's just, any case, I don't think I have so much more to actually talk about. And we're also closing to the Sabbath. I see the clock is 16:11, and actually the sunset is, the day is really short now. I thought it was like 16:30. Apparently it's going quickly, so Shabbat Shalom. It's actually the 7th day. You can see outside it's actually not that dark, but I guess, yeah. Okay, and if when you have all these gray, in Denmark there's a lot of gray, Shabbat Shalom. It's have a blessed day of rest. So this is wonderful. This is the 7th day, at least in Denmark, and in Israel, I'm not entirely sure when the sun goes down in Israel, because again, in Denmark, we have a little differences in regards of the sunset. Of course, one way of, because on the North Pole, you have a problem in regards of, sometimes it's all dark and so forward. So the question is, how would you actually, figure out in regards to the Sabbath up there? Well, you could do it according to Israel. That would be one way of doing it, I guess. If you look at Israel, when they have the Sabbath, when the sunset ends, that would be one way to keep a Sabbath up there, So, yeah, that would be one way to do it, I guess. If to keep a day of rest up there. So, yeah, one way of doing it, because again, if it's dark like half of the year or something like that, how are you then to figure out when the 7th day and all that? Yeah, so I that would be one way, I think, to do it. Yeah. Anyway, to just keep it according to Israel, at least you will be pretty close, whatever the case, Like even if I kept it according to Israel in Denmark, I would be pretty close still in regards of, even if we have some variation. That it would be somewhat off, but still it would be close. Because again, in Denmark, a day becomes short and then it becomes longer, and and then it seems in Israel it's much more. Slowly, where we in Denmark have like, where we have a huge amount of light in the summer, and then in the winter we have, very little and so forward. So, but yeah. Anyway. So, I guess that's it. So no shopping on the Sabbath. Some of the things that is in regard to the Sabbath. No shopping, no selling, no, yeah, that's pretty much, so no buying, no, and I think actually it should be law of the land. But of course, the Antichrist is pushing for Sunday, and apparently they seem to do this climate thing that, oh yeah, we all need to have a break because of the climate, blah blah bullshit and all that. But yeah, well, let's have it on Saturday then. But of course they won't accept that because because the Roman little horn thinks to change times and laws. Actually, do we have a Bible at hand? We have one over here. Oh, well, I guess I didn't get to swim today. I'll get it on Sunday, I guess. But would have been nice if I could actually have just gotten an. But sitting here and doing a lot of things and talking and let's see here. Daniel, Psalms, Daniel. Where do we have it? Of course, this is not the King James version, so it might say it a little differently. We have in regard to Michael. Now at that time Michael shall stand up, the great head who is standing over the sons of your people, and there shall be a time of distress such as never has since there was a nation until that time. And at that time your people shall be delivered, every one who is found in the written in the book. Now, in regards to the book that is written, that is the book of the Lamb, in regards of Jesus Christ. And many of those who sleep in the dust of the earth wake up. Isn't that interesting? It actually says, and many of those who sleep in the dust of the earth wake up. Some to everlasting life, and some to reproaches, everlasting abhorrence, according to the, But the thing is, the Roman Catholic Church are promoting this going directly to heaven and all that. And actually the letter from Asia Minor also seems to understand that they are awaiting the resurrection. And we also have Justin Martyr that says that if you meet someone that says they're Christian and they think they go directly to heaven, don't even think that they are Christians, What do all Roman Catholics believe, Oh, they go to heaven or the what do you call it, purgatory, because there's big business in purgatory. So they made a business out of it. So it's utterly criminal. Where is it in regards to the beast? Okay, so let's see here. This is the fourth beast. I drew near, this is Daniel, the book of Daniel. I drew near to one of those who stood by and asked him the certainty of all this. And he spoke to me and made known to me the interpretation of the matters. These great beasts, which are four sovereigns, which rise up from the earth. Then the Kodeshim, that's the holy, what do you call it, holy ones, of the Most High shall receive the kingdom. They say reign here. I think it's a better, kingdom would probably be better, and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Then I desired for certain concerning the fourth beast. So we have been told in regards of we have the first, second, and third, and fourth beast, and so forward. Now we know the Babylonian beast is, has had its time. We know that the Medo-Persian beast have had its time, in the past, and we know the Greek beast has, had its time, and in regards of ruling, and now we are at the fourth beast. Now, what came after Greek? Who took power after Greece? Well, Rome, of course. Rome took power, took that position of being, so anyway. So the fourth beast is what? It's Roman. Then I decide for certainty concerning the fourth beast. which was different from all the others, very fearsome, with its teeth of iron and its nails of bronze, which devoured, crushed, and trampled down the rest with its feet. And concerning the 10 horns that were on its head, and of the other that came up, before which 3 fell, this horn which hath eyes, and a mouth which spoke greatness, whose appearance was greater than his fellows. I was looking at this horn, was fighting against the saints, and was prevailing against them. I wonder who could that be? Who had persecuted the Christians down through the ages? Couldn't be... Yeah, it could. The Roman Caesar, the Roman emperor. And who is he? The office and seat of the papacy. That's the Antichrist of the number 666. Anyway, apparently no one wants to talk about it or this and that and all that, but I'm not going to keep silent. I'm going to, as long as there's breath in my body, I will try to do the best of my ability to speak the truth on it. I was looking, and this horn was fighting against the saints, in Hebrew Kodashim, and was prevailing against them until the Ancient of Days came, and right ruling was given to the saints of the Most High. Oh, has that happened yet? As far as I know, no. This is something that is in the future. Until the Ancient of Days came, that will be when Yeshua returns, and right ruling was given to the holy ones of the Most High. And the time came, and the holy ones took possession of the kingdom. Now that's still future in some sense, isn't it? Because Yeshua is going to come back and establish the kingdom on earth. Now, of course, the SDA or the Seventh-day Adventists have some issues on that. It's very sad because the Seventh-day Adventists have a lot of good things as well, but they really also, they believe that they are going to heaven for 1,000 years, and it's just what? As there's no historical evidence for that Christians, if there's anything that is in regards to the 1,000-year reign on this earth, but then you, of course, are anathemanized as well. Apparently, that's one of these curses from the Roman Catholics. And it's like, oh, it's just what is called? They called it, every time they want to discredit something, they call it it's a Jewish thing or whatever, a Jewish doctrine or whatever. No, it's not. It's found in the book of Revelation, 1,000 years. And not only that, we have historical proof that we know that people believed, that there was people around like Melito believing in a 1,000-year reign on this earth. But anyway, but very early on, this doctrine was already attacked. But anyway, this is what he said. The fourth beast is the fourth reign on earth, which is different from, okay, we already talked about that. Okay, so, no. Let's see here. No, let's see. And the time came, and the holy ones took possession of the kingdom. And again, Yeshua is going to come back and destroy the iron and clay, and he will set up his kingdom. The mountain grows, right? Anyway, so, but still future. So this is what he said. The fourth beast is the fourth reign on, or the kingdom, fourth kingdom on earth, which is different from all other kingdoms. And it devours all the earth. So it devours all the earth. Which kingdom devours all the earth? Well, the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire devours the whole earth. It's what we, in our days, the world is rounding around the Antichrist. it's you have all it's hidden. They're working under the surface. They're working in the shadows, in the darkness, but it's coming to fruition in regards of so. And of course, this office will continue until Jesus Christ returns. So again, looking at the things and things beginning to go in the direction of a one world government, which is just an old world government in regards of having the Antichrist as, it's poop doom, as I called it. So let's see, this is what he said. The fourth beast is the fourth reign on earth, or kingdom, which is different from all other kingdoms, and it devours all the earth, tramples it down, and crushes it. And the 10 horns are 10 sovereigns, or kings, from this kingdom. They shall rise, and another shall rise after them, and it is different from the first one, and it humbles 3 sovereigns. And I think that happened in the past. And but anyway, and it speaks words against the Most High, and it wears out the saints of the Most High. So we see this little horn, plucked out 3 horns and all that. Anyway, and came up, and that's the horn, and it speaks words against the Most High, and it wears out the saints of the Most High, and it intends, or in the King James it says, it thinks to change times and laws. It says, and it intends to change appointed times and law. Well, the King James version might be better, or maybe just read the. But anyway, yeah. So it thinks to change times and laws. Who have been thinking to change times and laws through, hundreds and hundreds of years? Well, the papacy began very early on. Corruption already began in the 1st century. Satan was very, very quick to. But anyway, and they are given into its hand for a time and times and half a time. But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away its rule, to cut off and to destroy until the end. And the kingdom and the rulership and the greatness of the reigns under all the heavens shall be given to who? The people, the saints of the Most High. His kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all rulership shall serve and obey him. You see, Jesus is coming back, or Yeshua is coming back to rule the nations of the world from Jerusalem. You have prophecies in regards of the so-called Old Testament about these things, and if the nations are not coming up to celebrate Sukkot at that time, the countries will be punished. Oh, I thought the law of God was abolished. You hear a lot of people say, well, if the law, if the law of God is abolished, why are the nations, commanded to come up and celebrate Sukkot every year? Maybe because the law of God is not abolished. And isn't it interesting that the Antichrist, this little horn on the Roman beast, thinks to change times and laws? Well, if it thinks to change times and laws, well, the law must still be, the real law of Jehovah must still be valid then, mustn't it? Yeah, anyway. So this is the end of the matter. As for me, Daniel, my thoughts greatly alarmed me, and my color changed, and I kept the matter in my heart. So that was the end of, and then, so a lot of wonderful prophecies in regards of Daniel. I'm getting a little tired apparently. But yeah. People, read your Bible. It's wonderful. It's wonderful reading your Bible. And it's always something you learn by reading it. And yeah, just be careful of Paulus, but overall, it's just you can learn a huge amount in regards of isn't it interesting? The book of Daniel is what 4,500 years old or something like that. Oh no! Wait! I got 3,500. I think it was. Let's see. That's that. I see if I get that wrong. Again, too much information in my head, and the fungus is not helping me. See, Daniel is no 2,500. Oh, my bad. I don't know. My brain. My brain is there's so much information, and again, it's like filling a cup that is overfull. It seems like every time you fill more in it, something else overflows. And drips out of the cup. But of course, I guess when one knows where to look for information, anyway. So a 2,500 years old book are talking about what is happening in our days. That's pretty good, I think. That's pretty good. Yeah, and we have the book of Revelation, which is like 1,900 years, also exposing this system. Isn't it interesting? I think that's pretty cool. And then people will say, "Oh, the Bible is just well." I think people should be kind of maybe somewhat interested when you can read and see what is happening in this world, that it actually is following the Bible. What the Bible says about this, that books written. It's interesting that people are so interested in everything else, so many other bullshitters and all that, but the Bible, oh no. Oh well, that's not interesting. So yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in the Bible. It's so wonderful. But I must say, I think they could make Bibles more helpful in regards of when this book was probably written and so forward, so you would understand, because it seems a little, it seems a little messy sometimes in regards of the book order and so forward, and trying to get things together, but yeah, whatever. But yeah, the Bible is awesome. It's awesome to read the Bible. And if you want to figure out who the Antichrist is, the book of Daniel and the book of Revelation, that's how the Protestants figured out who the Antichrist was when they could begin reading it in their own language. And they, and again, why do you think Rome didn't want the people to be able to read the Bible in their own language? Because it exposes their whole wicked system of abomination, Look, think about it. The man, the Antichrist, that thinks he is the head of the Christians and actually the whole world, he has a Egyptian gigantic idol penis standing in his front yard on St. Peter's Square, But there's a cross on top, so everything is okay. This is incredible how these Roman Catholics will defend all these things, Yeah, I know that, but there's a cross on top of it, so now it has been Christianized. Dude, what do you how much obvious that does it have? Oh no, yeah, that's a cross on top of it, so now it's Christianized. So now this Egyptian idol, this Egyptian idol erect penis is now okay. Now it has been Christianized. It's just utter bullshit. Like everything else that they, the Roman Catholic, they just take the, as long as they are in control, they pretty much don't care if you do these pagan things, as long as they are in the position of power. It's incredible. It's like, listening to these people. They don't even reject their standing erect idol penis, and some, At least, but I guess at least they are so honest not to reject that. Maybe they know it's so obvious that that they can't reject it. Like other things where they try to deceive you and apparently allowed to lie to defend their filthy religion, which is based on deceptions and lies. What did Jesus warn us about? Jesus warned us about wolves in sheep clothing. Jesus did not warn us about wolves like Muhammad, okay? Stinking wolves like Muhammad, he did not warn us about, because that should be pretty clear that Muhammad is a stinking wolf. But what Yeshua warned us about was wolves in sheep clothing. So why would he warn us about them and not in regards of, well, maybe because that's the most dangerous, So, yep. Oh well, I have meat for the Sabbath, good meat, and so actually also this thing is actually also recommended by the animal defenders or whatever. So I don't know, but as I understand it, it's said to be good quality and all that. So, and it's also the most tasty one that I've found. So, but yeah. But I don't. It doesn't seem that popular, and I'm not sure why it's not that popular. Every time I'm there, usually I find someone, and if someone, I'm like, hey, this is not slaughtered to Allah, and I this is the best meat there is, and all that, and yet it doesn't seem like it's so popular. I don't know. Maybe it's because it's in plastic. I shouldn't. This is the Sabbath. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, my bad. I guess I'm not buying anything, but I probably not the best thing to talk about on. But yeah, it's I don't know. Maybe I'm still. Anyway, I also have some yogurt in the oven still, and it should be. Oh, it's actually. There's a lot of wind outside. See if it's. Yeah, it's getting low in pH. It's actually like lemon. It's really. So it's like lemon. It's like when you really have soured milk, long, really low. It's tasting like lemon. So it's you get to the where it's like, woo, that's sour. But apparently that's where it is said to be very good for the gut. Now, sadly, it's not raw milk and all that, but it is the best milk that I've been able to get. It's grass milk, grass-fed milk, but it's still, it's still given a Hitler treatment. But it's the best that I can get. Apparently this is like a trial thing they do. Where so it's the only. And they talk about all the other cows getting all the unnatural food and all that, and they wonder, they're ruining the foods on so many levels. But anyway, this guy is trying to, so this is like a special thing, as I understand, that is in these this place where you can get it. So, but again, it's still pasteurized, and it's utter bullshit because people actually want to sell raw milk, It's the government and the Food Administration and all that is keeping them back from selling this to people. It's just incredible. And I know that there are people that want raw milk. And yet, it's being kept back from these it's just criminal. It's just disgusting. Why would you take perfectly good food source and destroy it and ruin it on so many levels? Yeah, well, you first ruin it in one way and then you ruin it in another way, and then you just make a mess of what God created. God created a good product. He created the cows and all that, and making milk and all that. And what do? A perfectly fine food product. We ruin it. I still have an avocado as well. Just one left. Very little sugar in these guys. Wonderful. We want to keep low, or I want to keep low in sugar. I don't want to make an explosion again in regards to this. I don't want to feed this creature anymore. I want it killed, pretty much. And that's in regards to after the explosion, and all that, and I want it killed. I want it nuked, pretty much. So yeah. After the explosion, I was pretty willing to, okay, I'll have to try, I have to try the Nystatin and diflucan, because I need to have this under control. I guess, if I should be able to actually see if this works pretty quickly. So both in regards of itching and crawling and, and the things in the eyes and so forward. I guess if I ever get out of this, if I ever get over this, I will have learned a lot and might be able to puzzle the pieces more together. Always learning a little here and a little there, and getting all the if I it's we need to, the information needs to get out there, because people it's not only me that have issues with these things. A lot of people have, and I think a lot of people are actually getting killed because of fungus issues, because of mistreatment, misdiagnosis, and thereby mistreatment, and it's diabolic, and they just can't continue to do this. I was talking to a nurse on a Danish forum in regards of Candida albicans. And apparently she's a nurse on a place where, they are, near death. And I asked her some questions, and she sadly didn't answer me. But I'm like, because talking about feeding them antibiotic, and I'm like, well, if they have a fungus issue and you're feeding them antibiotics, are you not making the things worse then? If it's a fungal issue, if you have cancer, and if cancer is fungi, as a fungus problem and all that, and the people are laying on their bed, to die and all that, well, if you're feeding them antibiotics, well, are you not making the issue actually worse? It's just like bullshit. All this total. This world is a total not case world, It's just total bullshit. How wicked and how, turned upside down this world is. I just don't understand. This is one of the other things that is said to be very good in regards to fungus and all that. But sadly, I just don't like it, But a little, if just a little of it, can be, used. You don't taste it that much, and then it's pretty good as long as you don't put so much in. But as I understand it, there's good amount of antioxidants and so forward in it. So I'm not going to put anything in my meat this time, but sometimes I've tried these, putting antifungals in the meat itself. Am I not? It is closed. Wow, it's really leaking a lot of air. At the moment, and I've closed my window, and it's just totally leaking. Let's try to see if that helped. No, it's still just pouring. It's pouring cold air into. I guess it is what it is. It's an old building and all that. And actually, it might not be bad that it's pouring some air into the. Getting some fresh air into the apartment, but it can get kind of cold in the winter in these old buildings for sure. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And I don't know why they put these, usually such things are put on the, the windows and all that, but that's not made, here they are more in the center instead of actually over where the place where, uh-oh. Oh well, that's just how it is. So, anyway, I got totally off topic. I should take a break and read up on some biblical things. Did I have anything? I think I had any. I don't know. Yeah, take a break from all the health things and just, yeah. I don't know what I would like to read or there's always the Gospel of John. There's a visual edition of it. You can also find that on YouTube, like 3 hours. That's very good. I think it's the best movie out there in regards to the Bible. Because it keeps it. I've seen a lot of years ago. I just sucked all the Bible movies that I could to me. I must say there's two that I just couldn't see. That was from the new ones in regards of Noah and the Egyptian. That was just too much bullshit in those two movies. Absolutely too much freedom taking in these. And the problem is when people are seeing these, then they take it as fact. And the problem is that many of these movies take a huge amount of liberty and totally, so you really have to be careful. And therefore, looking at these different videos of Jesus and the gospel and so forward, you begin to become more, you begin to find more and more issues with these videos. And you also, you see that they take a lot of liberties and as well and all that. And the visual Bible, I think pretty much the best. There are 3 movies, maybe 4 actually, because they were making in regards of a 4th. Oh, where do I have it? I thought I have it down here. Let's see here. There was a 4th. Where did I put? Gospel of John. Apparently I put it down here. Here we have the Gospel of John. This is absolutely the best of the best, I think. It's a wonderful... I can find some things here and there, but overall, this is the best. This is really a good version. It's a word for word based on the Good News Bible. It's even if it's using like I guess a less known version, it is based. It's word for word. It's not taking too much liberty. And so this is my, this is the recommended thing that I would recommend. And you can find it on YouTube. It's called The Gospel of John. And it's around 3 hours. There are 2 versions. There's and the 3-hour version is there's a shorter version as well. But 3 hours is actually not that long. It's a wonderful, it's really... I think and the actors are really good as well in this movie. I think, it's there are of course some things where it's like they could maybe have done that a little better and all that, but overall, if I should be, I guess 9 out of 10, because there could be things that could have, but I think even giving it a 9 out of 10, I think it's the best that is out there. Absolutely the best. They did a wonderful job with this. With this version of I cannot recommend this enough. This is a wonderful. I do think they have a Matthew version as well. I think they made Jesus into a little too much into like a jocular person in some sense in that version. But again, the only dramatized using the actual scriptures word for word from the New International Version. That I guess that must have been the first one they used. Again, I still love that they're keeping it close to the text. So it's not like totally. I guess I'm just a little bitsy where I'm like, I think they're making him a little too. Anyway, then there's the visual Bible Acts, and I think actually that's pretty good. I think it shows Shaul in the. I think they pretty hit the nail in regards of Shaul and the, in regards of Paulus. And I do have issues with Paulus, but I think they pretty much hit the things pretty good, from the book of Acts and all that. So, yeah, that's pretty good as well. But overall, these three, I guess, all these three I would pretty much recommend over any other, because again they keep close to the text. But of the three, I would absolutely the Gospel of John, which is also newest. As I understand, they were actually making the book of Matthew as well, and I don't know if they have finished it yet. That would be an interesting thing to actually, that would be an interesting to see when they have made it. I don't know if they have made it yet. It might actually be out already. Who knows? Maybe it's on YouTube. I don't know. But that would be an interesting look for sure, because if they keep to the three others, and they probably will, and if they use the same quality as they did in the last one, that would be awesome. That would absolutely be great. So yeah, the other movies I've seen take way too much liberty. It's just way too much, way too much. And I've seen a lot. I've seen many, because when I began to turn from Satan's Candy Store, I was really into seeing these, and figuring out I was seeking for the truth, because I had been fed all these lies in Satan's Candy Store and all these many flavors of his, and the broad way that leads to destruction and all that. I guess I've collected that. Movies was one of the things that I just gathered and saw a lot of those. So I've seen a huge amount of these. And again, the best of the best is absolutely these, visual Bible versions. And absolutely recommended if you're going to see anything, because again, they don't take too much liberty, so you won't get all these false doctrines as. And again, the problem is when people are seeing these things is that they take them as this is, that they take it as fact, while it's not in the New Testament. So they promote these things because they have seen it and think it's true, and thereby they promote it while it's not in the Bible. You see, that's a problem. That's a problem. So again, so if you want to be safe, go for the visual Bibles, and maybe that's great. Again, maybe I should see some of those. Oh yeah, can always see one again. Yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much, I guess, what I have. Also, there's in regards, I have the videos of the mystery of our declining genes and programming of life. I guess when if you had grown up with Christianity and all that, and you would know, the thing is, when you come from, I guess, helping people in the right direction because it took me a long time to, if one can help to make the road easier for people, that's, of course, would be wonderful. And it would be nice to make a website and have all the links for the different sources of goodies that is out there, just collected on one single web page, for people to. But again, it's yeah, there's a lot of things that could be nice, but again, it's just not always, a lot of ideas up here, but sadly, there is just so much to read and study and whatever, and yeah. Anyway, have a good one. I should stop now, and it's closing the battery anyway. And I just totally got off topic. By the way, this is in regards to the 6,000 years. I did find a minor mistake over in regards of the age of Shem, because Shem only got to 600, not 602. But they have him from 1556 to 2006. No, wait, we got, no. Well, it's like 1556 to 2158. So they have two. So according to this, he became 602. Now they actually write 600 years, but 600 years from is it's not. It has 2 more years. So that's a minor mistake. But this is actually this is a calendar that one can get. Where it shows the 6,000, from the beginning for around 6,000 years ago, and then it goes. I'm already. Well, here now we go. So we go this way. No. Okay, this because of the camera apparently. So we go this way. Okay, around, and then you end up here, which is in our days, and they pretty much put a lot of information into this, and there's huge, in regards to Rome, in regards to Greece, and other nations, and yeah, I haven't really gone deeper. It's there's a lot of information in it for sure, and the Bible information as well is put out in it as well. Yeah, it's pretty nice if one wants to look at it and in a visual. I think there's also programs for them. No, I actually have it as a PDF as well, so I can't remember where it is, but I think I have it. Anyway, may Jehovah bless you, and may Yeshua be that most precious pearl, and don't let go of him when when you find him, find that pearl. And may the Holy Spirit, the Spirit of truth, be in us all. Amen. Shabbat Shalom. Have a good day of rest, all of you. Amen.